2017 was a whirlwind of success for Dee Bro and the LSU Tigers. A marquee season of stellar performances and consistent high team scoring in front of record crowds. Culminating in the SEC regular season and tournament championships. And then a run at the NCAA tournament showcased by 7 All-Americans, and in the end, falling just short of a national championship. Tonight, a new season begins as Friday Night Heights, presented by Belk, takes you inside the Pete Maravich Assembly Center as third-ranked LSU Tigers welcome the 19th-ranked Arkansas Razorbacks. Coming up, we will first look back on that historic 2017 season for LSU and celebrate and recognize their success with 4 banners being dropped from the newly renovated PMAC rafters. And then we will get on to what everybody has been waiting for, women's college gymnastics on SEC Network's Friday Night Heights. Hello everyone, I'm John Roethlisberger, once again joined by one of the most decorated gymnasts in American history, winner of 11 world and Olympic medals, Alicia Sacramone Quinn. What people don't realize is Alicia and I have combined won 11 world and Olympic medals. Alicia, it's great to be back together with you again for an exciting SEC season of women's gymnastics. You know, LSU had an amazing season last year. They won the SEC title in the regular season and the tournament, second at the NCAA championship, scoring records, attendance records, All-Americans, national champions. But you know what? They come into the season losing 3 of their big dogs from last year. They have a young team. How important are those 3 that they're losing going to be to them?
Those 3 seniors were game changers for LSU. They had almost a storybook career last year. And, you know, we're losing Sydney Ewing, who's a 7-time All-American. She was a leader inside and outside of the gym. She was first team All-American on vault. The next senior was Shea Zamardi, who was beautiful to watch. She was their leader on bars. That leader spot is super important because they need someone who's clean and consistent. And last but certainly not least was Ashley Nat, the Golden Girl. She had 9 perfect 10s in her career, the 2017 NCAA Florex champion, and a lot of times their anchor in that balance beam.
So the Arkansas Razorbacks are ready to go, but tonight before the meet, it's all about the LSU Tigers and celebrating that 2017 championship. Coming up, pre-meet festivities and the banners will drop. Here on the campus of the LSU Tigers, we are in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and final preparations. The banners are being brought to the rafters of the Pete Maravich Center. They will be dropped here and before the Heights ceremony, celebrating that amazing, outstanding 2017 LSU Tiger team that had so many accolades. They are ready for another great season. I tell you what, Alicia, Dee Bro, 41 years at the helm, and she has not lost one bit of energy. She's fiery. Look at her, getting in the faces.
She is all about getting those girls pumped up, and you know, she's like the heart and soul behind this team. You see signs, do it for Dee. And those girls want to get that national title for her, and I love how she pumps them up so much. I wish my coach pumped me up like that when I was competing.
I love it, man. She's getting in people's faces, and she's firing them up, and looks like a lot of fun, and it should be fun. This is an evening not just of beginning the collegiate season for LSU. Obviously, they have important things ahead of them. They want to have a great competition, but it's also one of those times where you got to take a moment as an athlete and take a deep breath and go, man, this is a cool thing to be a part of.
Competition season, I think a lot of people forget, that's the reward. You worked so hard all year long to be in this moment, and this is where you have fun. This is where you leave it all on the floor, and you're doing it for your teammates, you're doing it for your coaches. So I personally love competing, and it's the reward at the end of the day.
A great atmosphere in the arena, and we're about to celebrate. Here we go.
Fighting Tigers of LSU. Let's meet the 2018 Tigers. She's a member of the JO national team and a Bars national champion. A freshman from Coppell, Texas, Reagan Campbell. This Tiger is a freshman from Fort Myers, Florida. Please welcome Bridget Dean. A two-time U.S. national team member and Olympic trials participant. A freshman from Hackettstown, New Jersey, Christina Desiderio. Please welcome this Tiger, a freshman from Athens, Georgia, Sammy Durante. A freshman from Ocean Springs, Mississippi, Sarah Edwards. This Tiger is a freshman from Mandeville, Olivia Gunter. A freshman from Cincinnati, Ohio, Grayson Stanley. A sophomore from Claremont, North Carolina, Ashlyn Kirby. A member of the All-SEC freshman team, and now a sophomore from Bristol, England. Please welcome Ruby Harold. She is the first freshman to win the NCAA title in school history, the 2017 National Vault Champion. Now a sophomore from Chino, California, Kennedy Edney. This Tiger is a junior from Waxhaw, North Carolina, Juliana Canamella. She was the first SEC Bars champion for LSU in more than 20 seasons and a three-time All-American. Now a junior from Cincinnati, Ohio. Please welcome Lexi Griezmann. She's the 2017 SEC Floor Exercise Champion and two-time All-American. A junior from Houston, Texas, McKenna Kelly. She was the first NCAA Bars champion in school history, one of the top all-arounders in the nation, an eight-time All-American, two-time All-SEC performer, and now a junior from Lee's Summit, Missouri. Please welcome Sarah Finnegan. This Tiger is now a senior from Plano, Texas, Lauren Lee. One of the top beam workers in the nation and an All-American and senior from Redwood City, California, Erin McAdig. One of the most consistent all-arounders in the country, a 12-time All-American and a three-time All-SEC performer, a senior from Temple, Georgia. Oh, Maya Hambrick. And now, Tiger fans, let's welcome your LSU coaching staff. In her first season as a graduate assistant, she finished her career with 9 perfect 10-0 scores, a 4-time SEC champion, and the 2017 AAI award winner, and the 2017 National Floor champion, Ashley Bugs Nett. Now in her 8th season as a volunteer assistant coach, 5-time first team All-American, and a 2-time LSU national champion, Ashley Claire Kearney Thigpen. In his 19th season as an assistant coach, he has coached the most vault national champions in the history of NCAA gymnastics. Please welcome Bob Moore. In his 6th season as associate head coach, he has coached the most Bars national champions in the history of NCAA gymnastics. Please welcome Jay Clark. And Tiger fans, beginning tonight her 41st season as the head coach of your Fighting Tigers of LSU. Now the dean of all coaches of all time in the SEC, head coach D.D. Bro. Tiger fans, at the NCAA Gymnastics semifinal number 2 in April, 3 LSU gymnasts won individual national championships for the most in a single season in school history. Kennedy Edney became the first freshman in school history to win a national championship, scoring 9.9875 on vault for the outright title. Sophomore Sarah Finnegan became the first NCAA bars champion in school history by scoring 9.95. And senior Ashley Knapp closed her outstanding career as a Tiger with the NCAA National Floor Championship, scoring 9.9625. Tiger fans, congratulations! Your individual national champions from the 2017 season, and we now add their names to the banner at the top of the Maravich Center. Tiger fans, with all of the momentum from its regular season, LSU went on to complete a historic sweep of the league with a spectacular performance in Jacksonville, Florida at the league's championship meet. The Tigers claimed their first meet title in more than 35 years with a 198.075 score, the third highest score in the SEC history. Ashley Knapp, McKenna Kelly, and Lexi Priestman combined to take home 5 SEC event championships. Head coach D.D. Bro was named the league's Coach of the Year, and Ashley Knapp took home the SEC Specialist of the Year honors for the second straight season. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to your SEC meet champions. And now we drop a banner to add to the rafters here in the Maravich Center, your 2017 SEC Tournament champions. The Tigers were dominant in the regular season against SEC teams and took home the first regular season title in the history of the league. LSU swept the league with a 7-0 perfect record and included road wins at number 4, Alabama, number 6, Kentucky, and number 17, Auburn, as well as home wins against number 9, Georgia, and number 11, Missouri. The team ultimately clinched the championship with a dominating score of 198.150 against the number 3 Florida Gators in March. Ladies and gentlemen, we add another banner to the rafters of the Maravich Center, recognizing your 2017 LSU SEC Tiger champions. And finally, LSU put together 2 outstanding performances in St. Louis last April. In the NCAA semifinal number 2, the Tigers dominated the competition with a score of 198.275 for then the NCAA championship record. In the program's 6th Super 6 appearance, the squad made one of the most improbable comebacks in history. With 1 rotation remaining and no room for error, the Tigers hit routine after routine to total a school record and the NCAA championship beam record score, 49.725, to finish as the national runner-up for back-to-back seasons. Ladies and gentlemen, we add another banner to the Maravich Center rafters to recognize your Super 6 Fighting Tigers and the national semifinals and the national runner-up Fighting Tigers of LSU. Tiger fans, how about those accolades? Congratulations. Now, Tiger fans, we ask that you please remain standing and kindly remove your caps as we honor America and recognize those serving abroad with our national anthem, tonight performed by national recording artist David St. Romain.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, David St. Romain, with our national anthem. Ladies, prepare for the first event.
The banners have been hung. 2017 is behind us. It's time to kick off the 2018 season. Coming up, the first vault on Friday Night Heights, presented by Belk. Friday Night Heights presented by Belk as the 19th ranked Arkansas Razorbacks visit the number 3 ranked LSU Tigers. Once again, I'm John Roethlisberger, joined by Olympic silver medalist and former world champion Alicia Sacramone-Quinn. Alicia, the energy in here is palpable. It's the beginning of another collegiate season, and I don't want to get too controversial here with the other athletes in collegiate sports, but I'm going to just say it. We're about to embark on another season of pound for pound, the greatest athlete in collegiate sports, the gymnast, and we're right here in the belly of the beast, the runner-up from the NCAA championships last year, the LSU Tigers. This is awesome.
I believe we're a little bit biased, both being gymnasts in our past, but the atmosphere in here is unlike any international, Olympic, or world championship competition that I've ever been in. It's a typical gymnastic meet. It's very proper and quiet. Here it's loud, it's lively, the music's bumping. It's an atmosphere I wish I had a little bit more exposure to growing up.
You mean you didn't have flames and fire when you're walking down on that floor at the Olympics?
Pretty sure it's a safety hazard. I don't know, but I'm feeling it here in LSU.
Approved by the fire marshal. Now we have a lot of storylines in the SEC. It's like as the world turns, there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of storylines. It's without question the best conference in women's gymnastics. 8 teams are in the college preseason college coaches top 20. If I can get that all out. If you are in contention in the top half of the SEC, you're going to contend for a national title. This conference is stacked. 2 of the best, Florida and LSU.
Florida, the number 2 ranked right now team. They are returning all of their competition routines from last season and adding 5 new freshmen. Their roster is stacked and they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. Then you have LSU, who is the reigning SEC champions, who are looking to defend that title and hopefully add a national title to their ranks as well. But they have a little bit of a setback losing those top seniors from last year.
Talking to coach from LSU, Jay Clark, he said if this team is healthy and on, they're every bit as good as the last teams they've had the last couple of years. Now the other teams, Alabama, they're 4th in the preseason ranking. They finished 6th at the NCAA championships last year. But if you're Alabama, don't get too comfortable because objects in your mirror are closer than they appear, and there's some good ones behind them. Kentucky really stands out. Complacency
is something that cannot happen in the SEC. The Kentucky Wildcats, I feel like they're a silent assassin. They've been chipping away, making huge improvements to their roster, to their performances. Head coach Tim Garrison has been doing a great job revamping that program and making them a force. And last but not least, the biggest, I think, coaching move in SEC has been the arrival of Courtney Kupets-Carter as the head coach for the University of Georgia.
And that's going to be fun to watch. And I'd say the biggest coaching move in the country, really, having Courtney Kupets-Carter join the Georgia Bulldogs, where she competed, was an amazing gymnast. So a lot of eyes will be on her. That'll be fun to see what happens. Now, Dee Bro, 41 years at the helm, had a great season last year. We've rehashed that. We know how amazing it was. But is this season as much about repeating past championships as it is about redemption?
I think it's 100% about redemption. Dee is just wants that national title. She has everything else. And when you already have almost everything, you're just striving to want more. So I think these girls are fighting for her, fighting for themselves, and fighting for the university.
And it's tough when you get that close and don't quite pull it off. You know it's in the back of your mind every time you step on that floor until you win it. Now, Arkansas, they had a very tough year last year. They had a lot of injuries. They relied heavily on youth. Did not really have the competitions that they've become accustomed to. They were in the Super 6 in 09 and 12. They want to get back to the NCAA championships. How tough is that road going to be for them?
It's going to be a little bit of a long road. They are in the process of revamping. They have 11 freshmen combined from last year and this year alone. So with that many newcomers, it takes a little bit of time to get in the swing, figure out how they want to compete. And Coach Mark Cook has a little bit of his work cut out for him, you know, reining in those beasts.
A lot of youngsters on that team between this year and last year. Over 10 freshmen will put on the red for the Arkansas Razorbacks. They hope they can change the future of that team. They have big goals. They've set out right. We want to get back to that Super 6, not just the NCAA championship. They want to be in that Super 6. And I don't know about you, Alicia, I can barely hear myself talk right now. You would not think this is just the start of a regular season meet. You think this is a championship event. Man, it's amazing.
It is so loud in here. You're right, John. I can barely hear you. It is a lively, lively atmosphere. We have touch warm-ups underway. That's the last bit of time you get on the event before you get to compete, to get your blood moving and get ready for that first competition.
LSU will be starting on the ball rotation. Notably missing from that rotation is Edney. She was the national champion for LSU last year. She rolled her ankle earlier this week, so she will not vault, but that is a stout vault lineup nonetheless.
LSU will be competing 2 1.5-year Changos today. After talking with assistant volunteer coach Ashley Claire Kearney, their goal is to have 5 1.5s by mid to late season.
And that has become a big deal in women's college gymnastics. The Yurchenko full used to be good enough, but it's not anymore. And the teams that can do that 1.5, and if you can stick a couple of them, that is a separating factor for the best teams in the country. So we'll see if LSU can continue to build throughout the season on this event. We'll see where they're starting off here tonight.
It's go time. Who's ready for the 2018 season? Let's welcome to the vault for LSU.
Starting off for LSU, this is Erin McAdag. And man, this place is rocking. Pressure on this senior. She's been around. She knows what this atmosphere is like.
The leadoff position is important. You're looking for a clean and consistent, strong start. A big Yurchenko laid off full, one step back. You know, for the first kickoff vault, it showed power, it showed amplitude, it had speed. It's everything you're looking for, but we missed that landing. And that step back is 1 to 2 tenths right there, depending on how difficult the judges want to be.
And she had plenty of power. Looks like she could easily add that half twist. Maybe that is in the works for her later this season, but playing it safe early, get that first hit. And the 2018 season here in the SEC Women's College Gymnastics, it's underway. This is Jessica Yamzon. She is a sophomore. Now, last year for the Arkansas Razorbacks, a lot was put on her with the injury to Amanda Wellick. She qualified as an individual in the all-around to the NCAA championships. That was big time for Arkansas.
Mounting up onto the high bar, making sure she hits that handstand. A Takacha. Big release moves here, or something gives you bonus to help get you to that 10-0 start value. Transitioning from high bar to low bar. So far, so good on this bar set. Pretty clean. Just getting ready for the dismount. Giant into a full twisting double. A very hard dismount. 2 flips, 1 twist. A little bit piked down at the end in her hips. You could see that before she lands, causing her to take that baby hop backwards on the landing. Another angle of seeing how high or how close she gets to being perfectly handstand. Just a tad bit short. I'd say she's about 80 degrees on that mark. And another look at that full twisting double layout. Very hard dismount, performed pretty well.
So good start for Arkansas. Now Lexi Priestman over on vault.
Lexi Priestman's actually a former national team teammate of mine. I've been watching her compete for a long time. Great competitor. A very high and controlled stuck Yurchenko full. Does not get much better than that. I know she's working to upgrade to a 1.5, but right now is not the time for that. It's just about getting the ball moving.
And you got to love this because she was a last-minute substitute for Ruby Harold on this event. Ruby struggling in the warm-ups a bit.
Another look, good block, tight body position, perfect landing.
No better feeling in gymnastics than sticking a big skill just like that. Great to see Lexi Priestman out there on vault.
Oh, I believe that was a stick crown that was about to be placed on Lexi's head.
I like that. Second up for Arkansas, Sydney Laird, freshman out of Kings Mountain, North Carolina. The first vault, by the way, Aaron McAdeg put up a 9.75.
Really tough on that landing because there wasn't much deduction otherwise than that.
Still waiting for the previous bar score. Looks like it's a 9.675 for Jessica Yamzon. So an okay start. Those 9.6s, 9.7s, I kind of look at those scores as scores that they're not going to help you win. The 9.8s, they kind of keep you in it. The 9.9s, they help you win the meet. So definitely going to want to build on that.
The time here when you're waiting for your turn is probably the most nerve-wracking time ever. You're just like, somebody salute me so I can get on the event and get going. You're just at the judge's mercy at that point. Starting off jumping to the high bar. Hindorf. Nice toe handstand, moving from high bar to low bar with an overshoot. A little bit short on that handstand there. Looking for another clean set here for Arkansas. The dismount, a double lay, small scoot back with her 1 foot. It'll be interesting to see what the judges do for that landing.
So that certainly should build on that 9.675. Quickly over to vault. This is Sarah Edwards.
Points of emphasis on vault, things that we're looking for. You're looking for amplitude. Of course, the stuck landing is key, and then the start value. Not all vaults, start from a 10.0. The 1.5 does, but a lot of vaults you'll be seeing a Yurchenko full, a layout half. They've been downgraded to a 9.95 start value.
Sarah Edwards, a surprise for this team. She's a walk-on, was discovered at a camp, and she can do a big 1.5.
Aggressive entry to the table and huge power. I didn't love that landing. It actually made my heart skip a beat.
A little awkward on the landing, it looked like.
It was. She controlled it well, even though it was a peculiar landing the way her feet hit the mat.
She's trying to build on a career high for Lexi Priestman of a 9.9.
I think they're going to get her a little bit there on that landing. It almost looked like her support leg buckled underneath her, but she managed to stay up. Impressive either way.
That is a big vault, though. She refines that throughout the season. No doubt she'll stick a few of those and put up some big numbers. All smiles. She appears to be okay. Quickly back over to the uneven bars. Haley Garner. She's going to follow a 9.8 from Sydney Laird. A big jump in score for Arkansas. They needed that. Haley's a sophomore out of Memphis, Tennessee. And Gym Stars Gymnastics, a great club from the Memphis area.
Mounting up onto the high bar between the bars, a blind change full to a big ginger. You see her teammates sliding the mat in there. You are allowed to use extra matting as long as it's pulled in and pulled out in the correct amount of time. Full twisting double back. Didn't get her chest up on that landing, causing her to take that step forward. It looked like she could have used a little bit of more momentum going into that dismount.
And those landings, we're going to talk a lot about those landings throughout this competition. They are so critical and such big separators between teams.
Another view of that big ginger. Those release moves are bonus points, and that is the big connection right there. She did touch her feet down, which will be a deduction, but the deduction might outweigh the connection, which is unfortunate.
Quickly back over to vault now. This is Juliana Canamella, junior out of Waxhaw, North Carolina. Sarah Edwards' score is a 9.825, so they hit her pretty good on that landing deduction.
Taking that final breath before you start that run down the runway. Yurchenko full, small hop back. It's hard to beat good technique. If you have good technique, you may not have the highest star value, but you can still score very well.
The rules for tonight's competition: there will be 6 gymnasts on each event for each team. The 5 best scores count, so you can drop that low score, so if there's a mistake, it won't kill you. After the whole competition, all 4 events are added together, and that is how you get your team champion. The home team gets the Olympic order. They start on vault, end on floor, while the away team has to start on bars and end on the always difficult balance beam. Now this is Sarah Schaefer, just a freshman, actually a redshirt freshman out of Tyler, Texas, and Texas East Gymnastics Club.
Starting on the low bar, a nice toe handstand. Oh, not enough speed and or stretch at the end of that skill to get her to the high bar like she was planning on completing.
And that is a costly, costly mistake. They already have 2 scores in the 9.6s, and this is certainly going to be below that, and the troubles continue, Alicia.
It's unfortunate. The pressure sometimes gets to you as a newcomer on the scene, and as a freshman, you need to get those jitters out of your system. A lot of things are going to be affected with this bar routine. Her start value won't be the same because she broke connections, and obviously she'll be scoring lower based upon the fall and the missed skills.
Now they will be able to drop this score, but keep in mind, they were hoping they could drop one of those 9.6s that they already have on the scoreboard, but now they're going to have to count both of them.
She didn't get her feet up high enough towards the ceiling to help it give her the enough height she needed to get to the high bar to continue on her routine and that connection. It's unfortunate because that would have been a nice, difficult bar routine completed by Arkansa.
Junior Sarah Finnegan's the next vaulter for LSU. 9.825 for Juliana Canamella. So LSU rolling, not huge scores, but decent, solid scores to build on through the season.
Strong entry for Sarah. Picked out Yurchenko layup full. That's clearly going to be upgraded later on in the season as well, but that was nice.
And she's loving it. She opened up and she saw that landing. It'll be interesting to see what they do with this because Lexi Priestman got a 9.9 for almost the identical vault.
I don't think they'll give her the 9.9 just because her chest was a little bit low in the landing, if I'm going to be really nitpicky about it.
You are totally nitpicky.
Well,
I mean, come on. I mean, come on. That was for sure
it was
a 9.9.
not. I'm not saying it wasn't nice. I'm just saying if their judges are going to be nitpicky, which I wouldn't be.
She's got the stick crown on, for Pete's sakes. Give her a 9.9. That was beautiful. Now the pressure is on Arkansa. And if anybody can handle that pressure, it's this young lady, Amanda Wellick. She's back. Achilles injury last year took her out for what would have been her senior year. She decided not to retire. She wanted to finish on her terms. She is back for her 5th year. And if anybody wants it on this Arkansa team, it's this young lady. She is an example for the rest of her teammates. They want to finish with style, and if anybody can help them get there, it's Amanda Wellick.
She is an emotional and physical leader for them. She's the backbone of this team. And as we were discussing earlier, John, this team can go as far as Amanda Wellick can take them. So if she remains healthy and can continue to put up strong scores and lead by example and motivate these younger girls to step up and be consistent, they actually could have a really good shot at the postseason.
There's some of her accolades. She started her career as the SEC Freshman of the Year, and she's had some bright spots, and nothing builds character like a big setback like she had last year. We'll see what she does with it. The judges, they got out their abacus. Maybe they're ordering takeout. We don't know. But this is one of the painful parts of gymnastics when the judges confer, and it's usually early in the season. They got to figure things out, too. They got to all get on the same page. So
they're a little bit rusty, too, coming off an off season for them. When we're doing the uneven bars, the points of emphasis that we are looking for, the handstands are key. In NCAA gymnastics, handstands are a must. You have to have good form, and then, of course, the infamous stuck landing. All of those things, if you do them well and you do them right, you should score relatively high.
And that stuck landing, it's big because it's obvious. You know, a lot of those form deductions, they can happen quickly, especially on bars. The feet come apart. Maybe they see it, maybe they don't. But a stuck landing versus a step, it's obvious, it's a deduction, and it's a separator from the best teams for the next step down teams.
And it's the last thing the judges are going to see and remember about your routine. So if you ended on a better note, they might be a little bit more lenient on, is that a half a tenth or is that a full tenth?
You can see LSU already has a 49.175 with one vaulter to go. Meanwhile, obviously Arkansas has a few scores yet to come in. The judge is still working on Sarah Schaefer's score.
The waiting game, it's never fun when you're the next one up and you just...
An 8.4 for Sarah Schaefer, so obviously if Arkansas is counting that score, they have got a rough road ahead of them in this competition if they want to hang with LSU, but they've got a couple good gymnasts to come. I have a feeling they will wipe that one off and hopefully put up a couple big 9-8 pluses here.
We have two gymnasts remaining in the Arkansas bar lineup, Amanda Wellick and Grace Speed. Both are upperclassmen who are poised competitors. Hopefully they can put two solid scores up. That way that 8.4 is not counted toward their final team score. Mounting on the low bar. A little bit short in that handstand. That's what Sarah Schaefer was attempting to do when she missed the bar, to a beautiful connected shoot over. That's bonus points right there, people. Low to high, high to low. Blind change to double front dismount. Difficult dismount, blind landing, just one hop. That's the type of routine they were looking and needing all last season from Amanda Wellick.
How are these handstands, Alicia?
Amanda's has pretty nice form and technique, a little bit short there. The blind change into that blind landing double front, small hop.
But
definitely
you know what
you're looking for after a fall is a strong return like that.
Oh, here we go. This is Maya Hambrick finishing off vault. Oh, no, and she went for the big 1.5, didn't happen.
A lot of things, unfortunately, went wrong there. When you have to wait, you get a little bit cold, you lose maybe a little bit of your focus.
Did she try to stick this too much?
She honestly, the layout seemed like it was under-rotated. She traveled too far and couldn't get her feet underneath her to be able to make that landing. It's unfortunate because I saw her do beautiful warm-ups on her feet, close to being stuck every time.
So that 49.175 for LSU that they had after 5 vaults will be their total for that event. Certainly Maya Hambrick's score will not boost their overall team score on that event. Meanwhile, Amanda Wellick, a 9.85. Good for you, young lady. Welcome back to collegiate gymnastics. Outstanding.
Praise speed, mounting over the low bar. Toe handstand to blind change. Straddle Jaeger. A little bit close, causing her to bend her arms as she catches the bar. Toe handstand to shoot over. Arkansas has a lot of tall gymnasts. It's not something you typically see. A toe to blind full to immediate double back. That's connection for connecting those two skills. I would have liked the blind change full to finish a little bit closer to handstand, but a solid set for Arkansas.
They finish with 2 seniors, Grace Speed and Amanda Wellick, and they answer the call under pressure here in LSU.
She took her feet off the bar a little bit early, causing her to be a little bit deviated off center, but still able to make that connection into her dismount.
Wow, what a fast-paced first rotation. Coming up, we will take a look at the changing of the guard at LSU.
We definitely lost a lot of leaders. Ashley, Nat, Sydney, and Shay. They all were special. Now it's our time to take over and be those leaders that they were.
Setting an example for the new freshmen, just leading by example in the gym, outside of the gym.
We've got a lot of youth, a lot of kids that are going to have the opportunity to get out there and grow.
If you love what you're doing, you're going to be great at it. And I think that was like the backbone of our team.
If you take advantage of all the resources that you have and work every day as though everything counts, your dreams will come true.
Welcome back, John Roethlisberger, Alicia Sacramone Quinn. Now, Alicia, it's tough for champions in any sport to repeat as champions. But oftentimes in sports, the runner-up, it's equally difficult. That emotion that you put into almost getting to the pinnacle and not quite doing it. For LSU, it's 2 years in a row of doing that, but they seem to find a way to come back. Now, they've lost some big-time gymnasts in their lineup. Ashley Natt is probably the most notable. How are they going to rebuild, reset, and still be able to contend here again for another NCAA championship?
Well, this year for them is, at least early on, is about building, getting athletes back from injury, and letting those newcomers get a shot at being in the lineup and seeing what they could do. With graduating 8 of 24 routines, they're looking for their underclassmen, those sophomores, juniors, even the freshmen, to step up and see what they can do. 4 All-Americans return with Edney, Finnegan, Priestman, and Hambrick. And, their freshman class was ranked number 5 coming into their freshman season. And they have a lot of talent. So it's just about being slow and steady to get them to hopefully be victorious at the end of the season.
And like I mentioned, Jay Clark said, this team is every bit as good as the teams they've had the last 2 years. They just have to be healthy, and they just have to hit. They're off to a good start tonight. Not a great start by LSU standards, but they do have a lead of over a half a point over the Arkansas Razorbacks after that first rotation. We're going to come up with rotation 2 after this. Arkansas will be on vault with NCAA qualifier Brace Speed. LSU's Lexi Priestman, she's the champ in the SEC on the uneven bars. You're watching Friday Night Heights, presented by Belt. Arkansas Razorbacks visit the 3rd-ranked LSU Tigers after 1. LSU has that half a point lead over the Arkansas Razorbacks, but a lot of meat yet to go. Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern, we'll take you to Thompson Bowling Arena in Knoxville for number 17 Kentucky taking on number 23 Tennessee. It's going to be a good one. It's right here on the SEC Network and streaming live on the ESPN app. Lexi Priestman is this gymnast that has got everything, Alicia. She's got the whole package. She may be, and I don't want to overstate this, maybe the most talented gymnast in all of collegiate gymnastics, but injuries have always held her back. How important can she be to this team?
Dee Bro says they can't be their best team unless Lexi is at her personal best, and she has been plagued with injuries. That was common for her in her elite career, and that was unfortunately common for her in her college career so far, but she is looking fit. She's feeling better each day. She had her knee cleaned up from some cartilage that was floating around in there, but I think this will be Lexi's season. If she can stay healthy, she will be a big impact player for this LSU team.
She's one of those you use the term game changer with, and she can be just that as we look at Arkansas's vault rotation. By their own admission, Coach Mark Cook said that vault is their weakest event. They lack those 10-0 vaults that a lot of the other SEC teams have. But he said, you know what, you go out there and you do the vaults you got, and you land clean, hopefully get a couple stick landings, and they should be right in there.
Definitely. I think especially with the addition of the Garretts, I think hopefully that can help upgrade Arkansas's vaulting potential.
You can see Garrett Griffith was the coach in that huddle, new assistant coach for that team. We'll talk about the new coaching additions later. But definitely a new vibe on this team. A lot of sportsmanship. They really work well together. A good energy, a good character on this team. Certainly some bright things to come, I have no doubt, as we see sophomore Jessica Yamzon getting ready to vault. We saw her on bar. She started off there with a 9.675.
Approaching the table, Yurchenko, full big hop back, a lot of power, a lot of speed, not a ton of control, which is something that's important, especially if you want to be able to stick that landing. Good distance, slight shoulder angle on the table, piking down the end, causing her to take that hop backwards. I think she could eventually upgrade to a 1.5 if training of it goes well. She has enough power and distance for it.
Plenty of power, just needs to control that landing. Now our first look at another freshman here for LSU. This is Sammy Durante from Athens, Georgia, a gymnast out of Georgia Elite, outstanding gym club in that part of the country.
Mounting over the low bar. Hip cast handstand, line change. Big straddle Jaeger. You see Coach Jay Clark there for some assistance. There will be no deduction as long as he doesn't touch the athlete that's performing a nice pack salto from high bar to low bar. Looking to finish this bar set. Giant into a full twisting double back.
And that was a big full twisting double back.
Full twisting double back. I'm thinking about her landing, what I want to say about it. She landed heavier on her heels, which is not a bad thing, but it's just a little bit harder to control that. You can see her start this flip above the bar. That's huge. I'll be interested to see if they give her that a stick, because she lands, doesn't quite do the step and turn to cover it up. But
that's a technique. You got to do the quick step turn to the judges, and you might get away with it. Here we go with Kirby Rathjen, the second vaulter for Arkansa.
Starting off her vault. Yurchenko full. A little bit shorter than her teammates' vault, more controlled, but still having that step on the landing is going to cost her a little bit. Good entry. Still a little bit closed shoulders on the table. Ideally, you'd want to see a little bit straighter body position so she can get more height.
Jessica Yamzon started off vault with a 9.7. Meanwhile, for LSU on the bar, Sammy Durante in her debut as a Tiger, a 9.875. Outstanding start, setting up Maya Hambrick for a big number.
Looking to turn the page after a not-so-stellar vault for Maya. Get going on bars. Nice big release move. Caught with ease and control. Line change full to shoot over. That's connection bonus right there to toe catch. The more you connect your skills, the less skills you got to do, because you get bonus points for them. Stuck, full twisting double back. She made that look easy.
She stuck that like it was her job.
Like anybody could go and do that. That was impressive. Full twist, man, it was just nice. Like, if you're showing somebody what you want a skill to look like, I would show that as a clip.
She made it look easy. And Coach Jay Clark liked it, the fist bump. And I think she's getting the stuck landing crown as we speak. Sarah Schaefer, the redshirt freshman, making her second appearance, had a rough start on the uneven bars with an 8.4. Hoping to get things right here on vault.
Yurchenko layout, half blind landing, a little too much power. Her feet were almost behind her, causing her to take those extra steps forward because her chest and her upper body was past her legs. Good power though. It's a very difficult vault, hard to see. That's why you don't see a ton of them.
Kirby Rathjen, a 9.675, second up on vault for Arkansa. Meanwhile, Maya Hambrick, a 9.925. That is a career high for her. Getting things right after that rough vault. Now we get to see Ruby Harold. She's a sophomore, and she is a two-time Olympian for the country of Great Britain. She is a big-time gymnast. She's actually a world's finalist, Alicia. 2003, she made finals at the World Championships on the uneven bar. She's the real deal.
Ruby's getting ready to mount over the low bar. Unique release move there, moving from high to low bar. You don't see those all the time. I love the change up. It'd be nice to see more athletes try different and new skills like that. Big straddle Jaeger. Pop to stuck double front. Excuse me, stuck. Let me just do this blind landing dismount real quick and stick it like a boss.
That's how a veteran does it.
I've done gymnastics a long time, and I've never seen anybody do this release move.
I think that might be a Mary Lou Retton move from back in 1984, actually. Nicely done.
I mean, no one in modern day does it because the bars are so far, but back in the day, Mary Lou made that look easy, and she just made that look easy now.
Is she going to get the stuck dismount crown? They're going to give it to her. Now Sydney McGlone trying to build on these scores. No big scores yet. Sarah Schaefer put up a 9.6. Actually, each score has gone down a little bit. It's those landings that are biting Arkansa right now.
Sydney's approaching the vault. Yurchenko kicked out.
There we go.
That's the type of landing Arkansa has been waiting for. Good approach onto the table. She had decent height, and you kick it out. help her land. Good distance. That's like a perfect type of stick.
You can see that taped ankle. She's been working with a bit of a high ankle sprain, but you would not notice it there. Nicely done. Now, Kennedy Edney, the sophomore from Chino, California in precision gymnastics. Ruby Harrell puts up a 9.875. That's her career high as well. Can Kennedy Edney keep it rolling? She unfortunately will not be doing more than uneven bars tonight because she's battling a bit of a rolled ankle. Doesn't seem to be anything serious. Hopefully she'll be back on all events soon.
Free hip to a straddle Takacha. A little bit short in that second free hip, connecting from high bar to low bar to that overshoot. Getting ready for the dismount. Giant into double leg. Stuck. Well, okay. Sure, LSU. Show us how everybody can make stuck landing.
If it's going to be a career high, it's going to have to be big because her career high is a 9.95.
Boom. It's like even she was surprised she stuck it. She's like, yes!
I love
so
it.
Jazzed.
I love it. And here comes the crown, ready to hand it off to Kennedy Edney. Dee Bro likes it. I don't think I've ever seen Dee Bro not smiling on the sidelines. Now quickly over to vault. This is Amanda Wellick. We talked about her Achilles injury last year. If there's ever an event that's tough to come back on after an Achilles injury, it's vault.
There's no doubt about that. I've been there and done that, unfortunately. It is a lot of strain on that Achilles. But Amanda apparently has no strain on her Achilles. That was a huge Yurchenko full. A little bit uncontrolled on the landing with that hop backwards, but that is definitely an upgradable vault for her in the future. Just a little bit piked down in the hips, causing her to take that small hop backwards.
So we're going to go back to bars. And before we go, I'm going to let you know, Kennedy Edney, a 9.95 ties her career high. So that is 3 career highs in a row. And man, if it's not good enough for LSU, they're going to finish with an SEC champ on this event and an NCAA champ on this event. This is Lexi Priestman.
We talked about Lexi having a ton of potential. This is one of her better events. Sky high Takacha to immediate pack salto. That's bonus points there. Lexi came from Cincinnati Gymnastics, a very prominent club out of Ohio. She was always such a great competitor. Beautiful double leg dismount. I don't know if they'll give that as a stick because she popped her little heels together, but that was a nice routine.
I tell you what, Lexi is smiling right now, but I guarantee you inside she is so mad she didn't stick that double out.
She wanted the stick crown, obviously. I'd be mad too. Tight form on those giants.
And she nailed this in the warm-ups too. And that's an easy stick for her too, I believe. Lexi Priestman is the SEC champ on bars. Her teammate Sarah Finnegan is the NCAA champ on that event. We'll see her in the anchor position, but before we do that, brace speed. She's an NCAA qualifier in this event, and she has got a big Yurchenko full, and Arkansa and brace speed need a stuck landing right now.
Bray is one of the taller gymnasts of Arkansas. Big Yurchenko full. I think that was a stick.
On cue, definitely.
Love her reaction. She is a character to watch on the sidelines. Like during floor, she's dancing around. She is a hype person for sure. Kicked it out. Almost kicked it out a little bit too early for my liking, but if you can control it, do it up.
So LSU continues to roll on bars. Arkansas finishes strong on vault. We just have Sarah Finnegan left. She is a defending NCAA champ. Lexi Priestman put up a 9.9 for her bar routine. And this can be big for LSU. Their season high last year was a 49.5. They can beat it here with a big score from Sarah Finnegan. This would be huge for this early in the season, rather. What a job for the LSU Tigers on vault. Things did not go as good as they would hoped on vault, but man, they come back like veteran teams do, like championship teams do. Everybody's going to wear the crown tonight. After one rotation, Alicia Sacramone has caught up with the head coach of the Arkansas Razorbacks, Mark Cook. Alicia?
Mark, coming back from a strong ball performance, what happened there on bars with Sarah a little bit?
She hadn't competed all last year. She was a freshman, so that was her first time competing in 2 years. So, I mean, she just has to get a tighter mind. You know, she's lost her focus.
It happens to the best of us. Well, I saw some nice stuck landings. What have you guys been working on at home to make sure that you're getting enough height and duration and distance from the table?
Just trying to work, big balls. Trying to be really aggressive, blocking the table, not caring so much about the landing. Just doing big balls. If they're big, you can stick them better.
Are we thinking about upgrading any of the girls' fulls? They looked pretty nice out there.
Probably not. We have some 1.5s coming in next year. We want to be safe with these guys. So, I mean, we'll probably just be aggressive and try to get more kids sticking landings like that.
Awesome. Thank you. Good luck the rest of the meet.
Thanks, Alicia. Thanks, Mark Cook. And it has been an outstanding first 2 rotations. 9.95 for Sarah Finnegan. Man, the energy is high through 2, and we have got 2 more yet to go.
The best athletes have the shortest memories. Last year was a rough year for myself and the team. We definitely faced some adversity, but this team is unfinished.
This team showed a lot of character, a lot of maturity, and they gained a lot of respect by the coaches and their fellow teammates as well.
I know that my teammates hold me accountable, so I'm going to help them and hold them accountable to things.
This year I get to hopefully lead by example, be that person that anyone can come to on the team.
You take one goal 1 week, one goal the next, but you don't forget about that previous goal and you just keep climbing on top of it.
Great gymnast once told me hard work never disappears, and that's what Arkansas is relying on, and they're going to need it. They have the second toughest schedule in the NCAA. They face all the big-time teams and 9 of the top 25, and if it's not easy enough to go against the top 4, they do it all on the road, Alicia. It's going to be tough for them, but they're on the up and coming.
Arkansas is thrilled to have back their 5th-year senior Amanda Wellick after an Achilles rupture, and then Michaela Byrne had a freak shoulder injury as she was setting on floor. Her shoulder popped out, so that plagues her a little bit, but they are back in action, and I think that's going to be a great positive sign for them moving forward.
And another big change for them is they have Courtney McCool-Griffith and Garrett Griffith on the staff now. You may remember Courtney McCool. Before she was married, she was a gymnast at Georgia. She's an Olympic silver medalist. And Garrett Griffith combined, they're one of the top up-and-coming couples in the coaching world in collegiate gymnastics, and they have added a lot already to this Arkansas Razorback team and their attitude and their energy. As we look at the scores after 2 rotations, LSU has a comfortable lead, 1.225. But 2 events to go. Jessica Yamzon will lead things off for Arkansas on floor, while Sarah Finnegan will anchor things on the balance beam. You're watching Friday Night Heights, presented by Big Game Covered. It's going to be exciting. 2 events down here at the Pete Maravich Center on the campus of the LSU Tigers in Baton Rouge. And LSU is coming off an amazing bar rotation, the highest score on bar since 2015, the second highest in the history of the program. This is the first meet of the season, This is postseason form we're looking at as they get ready to go. This is Erin McAdeg, the senior, starting things off on beam, and arguably last year the #1 first position beam worker in the country.
The leadoff spot is very important. You want to be the person that's instilling confidence in the rest of your team, so they're looking for someone who's consistent. They may still have a very difficult and high start value, but that doesn't mean that they're the weakest link. They tended to be regarded as one of the strongest competitors who you can rely on. Balance beam is, I think, the hardest event in women's gymnastics, or even gymnastics in general. It's a combination of artistry, acrobatics, and these big skills. Slight balance check, maybe bigger than slight. A balance check there that she covered up and saved, but that will cost her a few tenths.
I like how she tried to play that off, a little smile.
It's all about improvising. You have to cover it up and make it look like it's part of your routine. Not enough power in that kick going into her dismount, allowing her to land more vertically on that gainer full off the side. A back handspring step out, layout step out. Just couldn't, get her feet in check to where she wanted them to be. You should always keep your weight in that front leg when you're performing that skill to help you balance better. Whenever you shift backwards, it's, pretty common to see that type of wobble.
So a little bit of a rough start for LSU on the balance beam. They do have a comfortable lead over Arkansas. As we look at Jessica Yamzon, she'll start off this floor exercise rotation for the Arkansas Razorbacks. She is the first freshman in school history to qualify as an individual to the NCAA championships in the all-around. Quite impressive young lady.
Getting ready for her first tumbling pass. Round off back handspring, double tuck. What I like about Jessica is she's a performer. She's from Vegas. She knows what it takes to put on a nice show for everybody, get the crowd into it. Her teammates there supporting her on the side. For those that don't know, a floor routine is a minute and 30 seconds of non-stop dance, tumbling, stuck landings, hopefully stuck landings, double pike, a little bit low in that chest. I would say this event requires the most endurance in the whole sport. There is actually an artistry deduction where you are going to have points either removed if you are not, showcasing the performance of your dance well enough. Getting ready for that last tumbling pass. A punch front layout, front full. A good, strong, clean set for Arkansas on floor.
Floor exercise is one of those events, according to Mark Cook, that has really taken a step up with the addition of Courtney McCool-Griffith. She's done a lot with their choreography.
They have good skills. That nice double pike. It's, early on in the season, a lot of people are still a little bit afraid doing full tumbling on the hard surface floor. You have to protect your body, so all in preseason and post, you try to do some softer landings.
So Maya Hambrick will be the second gymnast up on balance beam. She started off on vault with a very rough vault, only a 9.325, but she came back strong on the bars with a 9.925 there.
You have to have a short memory in gymnastics. If you make a mistake, you have to turn the page right away and move on, because you can't go back, you can't change the mistake, and you still have other events that could still allow you to do well in the competition. Hitch kick to aerial. Switch leap straddle quarter. The back leg was a little bit low in the switch leg leap than I would like to see her do. Back handspring step out, layout step out. She seemed to have been a little bit off, but covered it up very well and corrected her body position on the landing.
Erin Makadeg put up a 9.725 in the start-off position for LSU.
Round off double full dismount. A nice clean hit for LSU on beam. The switch leg leap, you want to get to 180 degrees. The straddle quarter was okay, but the switch leap, that back leg was a little bit low. And a nice back handspring layout step out. We have a different angle than what the judges see, so I could see that she could be a little bit off, but for them, she could look perfectly straight on the beam.
So good second routine for LSU from Maya Hambrick. Now back over to floor exercise. This is Mia Barjaki. She is a senior at Arkansas, and she was destined to be an Arkansas Razorback. She used to go watch her cousins compete in cross country and in swimming. She always wanted to be on an Arkansas team, and she has had her dream come true. She's another good leader for this team. Very important senior leadership.
Starting with a wolf 1.5 jump. You can get bonus many ways on floor exercise. It can be with high-level skills, it can be connecting skills, and it can also be from leaps, jumps, and turns. A front handspring laid out 1.5, also known as a Rudy. Ideally, you're looking for a floor team comprised of a mixture of front and back tumbling, showcasing different types of leaps and jumps, and obviously the performance aspect of showmanship when it comes to how well you do your dance. Round off with 1.5 punch layout. Oh, the turtle spin, John.
Oh,
my favorite. It's my absolute favorite.
Alicia's night is complete.
Oh my gosh. Literally so happy right now. A nice switch side straddle full to tuck Shishinova to tuck back through to your back. That last part's not really anything, but it's just cool. And the 1.5 punch layout, nice and controlled, good form, legs together.
Love the team in the background cheering them on. You always see that from the collegiate teams. They are ringside, literally cheering on their teammates. Back over to balance beam now. This is Juliana Canamella. She is the junior, third up in this rotation.
On balance beam, the things that you're looking for is connections. You can see acro skills connected, or you can even see dance skills connected. And another thing that, you know, can make or break your beam routine is how many balance checks and or falls. I mean, it's that would be an example of a balance check. You're fighting to stay on, and ideally you don't want to fall off, but it happens to the best of us every now and then.
I think you jinxed her. I'm pretty sure that was the Alicia Sacramone Quinn jinx.
I literally feel so guilty right now.
It happens, certainly.
And skills like that back handspring last step out, you want a wider base to land, and she stepped her foot all the way in. I don't know if she was planning on connecting it to something else, but she just wasn't straight enough to keep that going.
Juliana has struggled a bit with a shoulder injury. She's not doing bars, which is a good event for her, but she is working those other three.
Standing layout step out to a beat jump. These types of mistakes are not uncommon this early on in the season. You know, you're a little bit rusty. It's been a few months since you've been on the competition floor, and sometimes you're adding a new skill in, and it's just about getting all the kinks out. You're laying the foundation for hopefully a championship season. Right now is not the time to be pulling out the big skills.
Our points of emphasis, Alicia, on this event?
Floor exercise, it's about big tumbling skills, landings, and obviously that dance aspect, the artistry. There is a deduction for artistry. If you don't perform your routine well, you're not going to score as well as the other athletes.
Here we go with Haley Garner. We saw her on the uneven bar. She put up a 9.575 in that first rotation. She was an SEC all-freshman recipient her freshman year. She's now in her sophomore season.
Courtney in the background giving her some motivation. Big round off back handspring double pike. Chest was a little bit low in that landing, but she definitely had the height to land up more vertically. Talking with one of Arkansas's assistant coaches, or volunteers and athlete coaches, she said that the Griffiths have been a nice addition. Their dance and expressions on their floor routines have improved vastly under the guidance of Courtney, and it's nice to see her there walking around, telling them those last-minute things in the corner to get them hyped up to go. Front layout, front full. Not enough height on that second flip to get around.
So disappointing finish for Haley Garner on what was otherwise a pretty good routine.
The first punch started okay, and then she twisted it a little bit early off the ground, not giving her enough height to get her feet underneath her to land properly. So
Haley tries to regroup from that disappointing performance. But that's a lot of what these early competitions are. Let's get the kinks out, let's learn from them, and then let's build. Juliana Canamella, speaking of building, only got a 9.05. This is Christina Desiderio trying to erase that 9.05 from her teammate.
One of the few freshmen in the current lineup, front aerial to Sassone.
Christina comes out of Parkettes Gymnastics, a very well-renowned club in the United States. Bill and Donna Strauss have produced numerous national team members over the years.
A beautiful back handspring layout step out. A little bit bobbling on that full turn. Sometimes the easiest skills are the ones that get you on beam. A full turn, most people would assume is pretty easy, but you'd be surprised how many people make mistakes on that. Good save. A little bit balance checks here and there on the leap connection. Gainer full dismount, stuck. Stuck that dismount like she meant it.
So we call that stopping the bleeding in gymnastics. When you have a teammate go up and have a mistake, the next gymnast needs to stop the bleeding, and that's exactly what that young lady, Christina Desiderio, did. Next Friday night on Friday Night Heights, number 3 LSU versus number 2 Florida. That is going to be a good one. Maybe the best of the year. That's 7 Eastern time on the SEC Network. And then number 16 Georgia versus number 4 Alabama. We get to see Courtney Kupets-Carter's team in action for the first time. That'll be 8:30 Eastern time on the SEC Network. Also streaming live on the ESPN app. Judges just finishing up a conference here on the floor exercise. Again, judges working out those kinks a little bit as well. And now we get to see if Michaela Burton can stop the bleeding for Arkansas. They just had a mistake from Haley Garner that just amps up the pressure. We talked about how 6 gymnasts go up on each event. The top 5 scores count. So one mistake, not catastrophic. More than one mistake, however, can definitely cost you a competition, and it just ramps up the intensity, ramps up the pressure, especially when you're on the road in an environment like this. Haley Garner score a 9.0. Michaela Burton comes out of Legacy Elite Gymnastics in the Chicago area. Very outstanding gym club as well. The same gym club that Amanda Wellick has come out of. It produced Anna Lee, who is an alternate on the United States Olympic team. The waiting game, they're still discussing what to do with Garner, I guess, finishing things up, and here we go.
Starting off with a smile, you gotta love that. Going into her first tumbling pass. Round off back handspring, big double pike. John, I think you could have walked under that double pike.
Seriously, it happened right in front of us, and I could pretty much see the whole crowd on the other side underneath that thing.
Second tumbling pass, front handspring, front full to front layout. Watching that corner, making sure she doesn't go out of bounds. You see those white lines outlining the floor. That's to make sure you stay in the guidelines. If you step out, it can be as little as a quarter of a tenth, half a tenth, to as much as 5/10, depending on where you land. Getting the crowd into it now. Using these last few dance moves in the corner to catch her breath before her last tumbling pass. Round off back handspring, double tuck, stuck landing. Chest was a tad bit low, but still managed to pull it all the way around for a hit set for Arkansas.
So like Christina Desiderio for LSU, she answers the bell after a mistake. Michaela Burton, nicely done.
Michaela's working the crowd there. giving her teammates little smiles. And then this last tumbling pass, finishing off the routine really strong, a big double back, just chest was a little bit down. That's all I could say about that. It was high, controlled.
Should be happy about that one. We're going to jump back over to the balance beam now. This is Reagan Campbell. She's a freshman out of Coppell, Texas. She went to Texas Dreams, was coached by an icon in sport of gymnastics, Kim Zemeskel, the first gymnast ever to win a world all-around title for the United States.
Nice front aerial to back handspring. Connection skills like that are good bonus points to help get you to that 10.0 start value. Every gymnast starts from a 9.5. They have required skills that they must complete to help get to that score. A little bit of a balance check there on her back tuck split jump connection.
Reagan's been battling a bit of a wrist injury, but she looks to be a big help as she gets healthy. About 1 month away from being 100% according to her coaches.
A break here in that connection. Those leaps are supposed to happen in a row, but it was probably a smart play to break the connection and make sure that you stay on. Round off double full. Trying to stick that landing, a little bit soft knees once her feet hit the mat.
Nice freshman debut for Reagan Campbell. They have high hopes for her.
That back tuck, using her feet to help fight to stay on. We like to call it monkey toes because you're just literally gripping at anything so you stay on the beam. That was a nice save.
So now Sarah Schaefer's turn on the floor exercise. She's had an up and down night, a good vault, rough bar routine, an up and down evening for her debut in the all-around.
As a redshirt freshman, you know, getting used to the NCAA competition style is a little bit different. It can be nerve-wracking. I think it was maybe an eye-opening experience. Huge double pike. Sometimes you'll see that skill done where the body position in it is a little bit tighter in the pike. That was so high, she didn't even have to be that close of a pike to get the rotation all the way around. Round up back handspring double tuck. A little too much power, her heel scooted out of bounds. In the competition setting, you can't let the adrenaline get the best of you.
Michaela Burton put up a 9.825 right before her. And don't forget, they have a 9.0 that they're trying to drop from their team score on this event.
Going for the last tumbling pass, a round off 1.5 punch front layout. Dynamic tumbling from Sarah. Just needs to work on keeping her nerves down and controlling those landings and just doing what she practices in the gym every day.
And I think experience is going to be big for her because she's a great looking gymnast. She just needs to get that confidence.
Huge double pike. Look how open that body position was. This tumbling pass, she just had a little bit too much power. Big double flip. Landed on her heels, causing her body motion to pull her backwards and out of bounds a little bit.
Looks like she went a little crooked there too. If she had stayed right in that center line, she would have had a little bit more space. But I think we might see some good things from her as she matures and gets a little more experience this season. Now Sarah Finnegan will try to finish off a solid beam rotation for the LSU Tigers. Again, they did have a fall, but if they can get a hit here from Sarah, it will not be too damaging for them. She is a fabulous leader by example. She is also an alternate to the Olympic team in 2012.
Sarah's one of my favorite competitors to watch on balance beam. She's so graceful. She's She does things with ease. She makes it look like she's, just in a walk in the park doing some gymnastics. Makes it hard to remember that she's only on 4 inches. Beautiful switch half. Side summy. Side aerial to back full dismount. Strong connection there. 2 hard skills and very well-controlled landing.
Was that the quick turn or was that a stuck dismount? I need to
It looked like a step and turn. The back handspring layout, step out. The side summy. I personally think landing sideways on the beam like that is so difficult.
Here it is.
The side aerial to back full. That was the step and turn. The prime example of the step and turn.
We'll see what the judges do with that. Nonetheless, a great beam routine. Sarah Finnegan comes out of Gage, a gymnastic club in Missouri, the same gymnastic club that Courtney McCool Griffith came out of, and also the same gymnastics club that Sophia Carter, freshman right here, anchoring this Arkansas Razorback floor exercise rotation, the same gym club that she came from. Nice 2.5 twist. Don't forget, Arkansas, this routine is very important. She can hit. They're going to drop that 9.0 and come out with a very decent floor team score. All these landings are so critical, like right there, and that is going to be a big deduction. Big step and out of bounds. When you're trying to roll with the big dogs, you cannot afford to make mistakes like that. One more pass. Oh, a little bit of a struggle on that as well. That's a combination. She was supposed to lay out that last somersault. Had to tuck it to make it around to avoid catastrophe. It'll be a decent score. It certainly will drop that 9.0 out of their team score, but it's not going to be exactly what she is capable of. This can be a big number for Arkansas, but you got to get rid of things like that. Just got to open up a little earlier, stick that landing. Now the moment we've all been waiting for, always in gymnastic competitions with LSU. You want to hear from Dee Dee Bro. Alicia Sacramoni's with her right now.
Coach, a little bit of rough start here and there. What do you think of the overall performance thus far?
Well, lots of guts. I mean, we've got a lot of freshmen out there, and the seniors and juniors are pulling them along. And, of course, they're making their share of little mistakes, too. But I can't fault them for effort. They are really giving it 100%. We've got a great crowd, a lot of excitement in here. It's a starting point. It's a starting point, and I'm excited about where we are.
Going into floor, what do these girls need to do to finish this meet strong and up to your standards?
Consistent. We know we're a little bit behind on that event. We had to take Kennedy Edney out, and of course then we lost McKenna Kelly, 3-4 weeks ago. But that being said, it gives us the opportunity to put some people in the lineup that otherwise would not be in there tonight. So let's see how they do, because it's going to give us an opportunity to build our depth, create some consistency as we move on towards the rest of our season. Tonight is about getting out there and introducing yourself to the crowd and having a great time, and you want to get a good score and great performances, which we've had. So let's go to the last event and have fun.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach. Best of luck.
Go Tigers.
I love it. Never at a loss for words, Coach Dee Dee Bro. She's been around a long time. She does an amazing job. The LSU Tigers having a good time in their debut. The Arkansas Razorbacks building on things to come. We have one more rotation to go. Coming up, Alicia and I will take a look at the national picture. You're watching Friday Night Heights, presented by Belk. We are back at Friday Night Heights presented by Belk. We are through 3 rotations. The home team, the number 3 ranked LSU Tigers, they have a comfortable lead over the visitors, the Arkansas Razorbacks. But we have seen a lot of exciting gymnastics early in the season. Some great stuff, certainly some rough stuff as well. You know, it's going to be the ups and downs of the early season here anywhere across the country. We've been talking a lot about the SEC, and rightfully so. Here we are in the belly of the beast. But there's some great teams nationally that can challenge these teams in the SEC, Alicia.
There are other conferences out there, and Pac-12 is one of those that are really going to give the SEC a run for their money. University of Utah is the reigning Pac-12 champions. They are returning 5 All-Americans, including Michaela Skinner, the 2016 alternate for the U.S. Olympic team. And then there's UCLA, who's projected to win the Pac-12 championships this year with 4 returning All-Americans, a roster that's packed full of national team, Olympic team members. It's somebody you really got to keep an eye on. And then last but certainly not least, the University of Oklahoma, the 2-time national defending champions, led by Maggie Nichols, who's, you know, one of my favorite gymnasts to watch.
And I tell you what, I saw Oklahoma in that final last year, and I challenge anybody to find a better performance than what Oklahoma put up, and you'll see it right here. They stuck landing after landing after landing like I have never seen anyone do, and they were led by that young lady, Maggie Nichols. Gymnastics takes over the SEC network every Friday night, and next week we'll have the 3rd-ranked LSU Tigers and 2nd-ranked Florida Gators in Gainesville at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, presented by Belk. And after that one, it's number 16 Georgia and number 4 Alabama at Coleman Coliseum. Friday Night Heights, also streaming live on the ESPN app. Those are both going to be great matchups. In our final rotation, we are going to see Burton. We are going to see Hambrick. They will finish it up for Arkansas and for LSU.
Make it groove, make it move, make a move with the groove, make it hoot it, make it who, make it hoot it, who. Make it groove, make it move, make a move, make it hoot it, make it who, make it hoot it.
Those are some funky moves. Alicia, were you working with them?
I was. I actually have been giving them private lessons on their dance moves, especially the coaches.
After 3, LSU commanding lead 147.825 to Arkansas's 146.2. But this is all about getting a starting position and starting to build for both of these teams. Arkansas trying to get back to the NCAA championship. LSU hopefully culminating in an NCAA title down the road. Arkansas will finish this competition on the balance beam. Always a tough place to compete no matter what, but certainly tough at the end of a competition. Jessica Yamzon will lead things off. A deep beam lineup, according to Mark Cook, one of the deepest lineups they've had. Certainly depth is important, especially as you get deeper into the season and injuries start to take their toll. Jessica has had a good competition. She sits in 2nd place in the all-around right now. We talked about how she became the first all-around freshman at Arkansas in the history of that program to qualify to the NCAA, so she got her career off to a great start.
Getting a few last words from Coach before coaching that last event. Cat jump to switch side. Back handspring step out, handspring step out, layout step out. I got a little ahead of myself. The 3-series acro connection is very difficult. Every now and then you end off the back of the beam because you run out of space, but she performed that beautifully. Front toss. Very solid on that landing. Gainer laid out full. That's why she's in the lead-off position. She can go up, she can hit, be strong, be consistent. and set the scores off at a good point for the rest of her teammates.
And how critical is that, especially on balance beam, where you have a miss early, that puts pressure on 5 routines behind you. But if you can start off with a nice set, how much pressure does that take off the rest of the gymnasts?
It's huge. It's very strategic. You want to put somebody who has a strong routine, big skills. It's going to put a good impression in the judge's mind for the rest of the routines to come.
This is sophomore Ashlyn Kirby out of Claremont, North Carolina, and Shooting Stars Gymnastics Academy. Coaches describe her as a fiery gymnast. If you're fiery, this is a place to show it off.
It's my kind of girl. Watching her in warm-up, she is dynamic. Big tumbling, big vaults. I like what LSU has in store with this one. Front layout, front 1.5 twist from out of a front handspring. Second tumbling pass coming up. Round off back handspring, double tuck. With space to spare. She only took a few steps running into that tumbling pass. That shows how strong she is. Switch side to Popa. Ashley Claire Kernan in the corner, giving her some pep for her last tumbling pass. Front handspring layout, front full.
Not sure you could have asked for a better start for LSU on floor.
Dee likes it. Round off back handspring, double tuck. Big skill, strong landing. The last connection pass was a front tumbling pass, a front layout to punch front full. All those front landings are pretty blind, so you have to be able to spot something up a little bit higher to know where you are and not step out of bounds.
So now we move back over to the balance beam. Sydney Laird, the freshman out of Kings Mountain, North Carolina, born in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Say that 3 times really fast. Former Canadian national team member.
Front aerial to back handspring to beat jump. I'm not sure they'll give her those connections. There was a slight pause in between each skill. Typically, as long as your arms are continuing to move into the connection, they'll give you credit for it, but it seems like there was a slight pause. Side aerial to split jump. Getting ready to finish up her beam routine. Cartwheel, gainer full. Nice dismount, clean routine. I'll be interested to see what they give her as a start value with the breaking of that connection. Cartwheel, kick, gainer. Nice. A little bit low. I would like to see a little bit more height on that dismount, but they're looking for that stick, so sometimes the height is sacrificed.
So Ashlyn Kirby puts up a 9.875 in that starting position. Now Erin McAdeg, former U.S. junior national team member, tries to keep it rolling here in the second spot.
Erin is a performer. Her floor routine is one of my favorites. She shows off her dance. This big tumbling, a sky-high double back. Punch front layout, front full. To to a little bit out of control stag jump. When you connect tumbling and dance like that, you do get bonus points. Torch to half, Popa. Only one tumbling pass remains. Roundabout handspring double pike, a little bit short. Not the best set out of the back handspring before the double flip, but she managed to save it and finish the routine. She had good speed and just didn't get her arms up high enough out of the back handspring. Ideally, you want to get your arms closer to by your head so it gives you more height going into the flip.
Stung those ankles a little bit. You come up short like that. Doesn't look like much, but man.
We call those a stinger.
You can feel that the next day. Now fifth-year senior Amanda Wellick will finish up her competition in balance beam. And what a great return for this young lady. 9.825 for her on vault. She followed that up with a 9.85 on bars, trying to finish strong here on balance beam.
Coach Mark Cook said this will be a big event that's impacted by her return. That and the floor exercise, which she's just a great person to have leading your team. Side summy. Back handspring layout step out. A little bit of a balance check there, but she covered it up well. Front aerial. A little bit. Ooh, a front gainer full off the end of the beam. You don't see a dismount like that every day.
And now you've seen why Amanda Wellick is so important to this Arkansas team. She's going to do so much for them in their attempt to get back to the NCAA championship.
The back handspring layout step out. Just a little bit losing her upper body. That shouldn't be a big deduction by the judges.
Next up on the floor for your Fighting Tigers, please welcome.
So we get to see Ruby Harold one more time. Last minute change, Juliana Canamella is taken out of the lineup. Ruby Harold inserted back into the rotation. She follows Erin Macadeg's 9.775.
Front handspring, front double full, a little too much power, stepped out of bounds. Had a little bit loose form in her legs, but that is a big tumbling pass. Round off back handspring, double tuck. Ruby has some ups on her. She gets some height on that tumbling. Switch ring to switch half. Gearing up for her last tumbling pass here. Round off 1.5 punch front layout. A little bit loose knees on the end of that front layout. Aside from going out of bounds, that was a nice floor routine. Just a little bit moments where she could just be have a tighter form, more control, but that will come with time.
A few of those early season
Get it out
errors
now.
that she'll just work them out, I suspect, as the season goes on. Some words from Associate Head Coach Jay Clark. Is he wearing velvet, Alicia?
I believe he is wearing velvet.
He makes that look good. Back over to the balance beam. Amanda Wellick put up a 9.875. Congratulations on your comeback so far after one meet. Nicely done. This is Sophia Carter, the freshman out of Blue Springs, Missouri.
She actually attended the same gym that now volunteer assistant coach Courtney McCool Griffiths attended when she was training. Back handspring, step out, layout, step out.
Coach Mark Cook feels like Sophia is the most solid of the freshmen that he has on the roster right now, this early part of the season.
Front aerial to stag jump.
That's assistant coach Jamie Armbruster on the right there. She is the beam coach this year, her 5th year at Arkansas.
Aerial to stuck, gainer full.
Give her the stuck dismount crown, LSU. Share the wealth.
Excuse me, I was corrected. It was just an aerial to jump back full, not gainer full, but it was still beautifully performed.
Tell you what, Arkansas is finishing very strong on the balance beam. All scores above 9.8 so far. And judging that routine in my head for Sophia Carter, I suspect this will be another 9.8 plus. Now back over to floor exercise. Ruby Harold put up a 9.725. This is Sarah Edwards, as we have 3 gymnasts left for the Tigers in this final rotation.
Sarah's teammates on the side cheering her on, getting her all pumped up for her first tumbling pass, which is a front handspring layout double full.
And what a thrill for a walk-on. You walk on to one of the best teams in the country, and here you are, an opening night, competing 2 events.
Big double back, just not really spotting to know where she was on the landing, causing her to take that little bit punch step out of control backwards. Switch side, straddle full. Handspring, front full, front full. Not a bad performance for a walk-on freshman.
I don't think you could wipe that smile off her face no matter what she did. She has got the biggest smile of anyone in this build tonight. Good for you, Sarah Edwards. Unbelievable. Dream come true for that young lady.
Sophia Carter, 9.90.
And meanwhile, back on the balance beam, Sophia Carter, 9.9. So things continue to roll well for the Arkansas Razorbacks. Michaela Burton next up. They have Sarah Schaefer after her. So just one of these 2 gymnasts needs to put up a good score, and this will be a nice number to finish off with for the Razorbacks tonight.
Front aerial to beat jump. Back handspring step out, layout step out. Fighting to stay on.
How big is that deduction, Alicia?
I'm going to say it's a strong 2/10, if not more. Judging is subjective, so it's different for each person. It's based on what their opinion of the step the bobble is. So that's what makes gymnastics so unique. It's all a matter of opinion. Split jump, sheep jump. Very, very difficult jump to perform. You're actually losing sight of the balance beam and then regaining sight of it as you're coming back in the landing of that jump. Gainer full off the side to a stick. The back handspring step out, layout step out. Almost looked like she didn't try to finish the layout before she moved on to the next thing. Beautiful stuck dismount. Balance beam, the key is patience. You need to be patient with your skills and yourself and not rush what you're trying to do in the performance.
So Sarah Finnegan, 5th up in this rotation, needs a 9.375 to clinch the all-around as well. LSU seems to have a handle on the team title tonight, regardless of what she does.
Round off, 1.5 step out, round off back handspring, 2.5. That's a lot of bonus points right there.
Like a dart into that mat.
And she knew where the corner was. She's like, I'm not stepping out of bounds. I don't care if I just did 6 skills in a row. Second tumbling pass, round off back handspring, big double tuck.
LSU clinches the team title tonight with an 8.625 or better, so that will not be a problem.
Switch ring to switch half. Sarah has some of the most beautiful leaps that I've seen in a gymnast in a long time. Last tumbling pass, round off back handspring, big double pike. A little bit soft legs on that landing, but she fought for it and made it work. A nice floor routine from Sarah Finnegan.
And what a gymnast. You said it earlier, Alicia. She's so fun to watch, so elegant, so in control.
That round off 1.5 step out, round off back handspring, 2.5 twists. Blind landing, and she clearly gave herself enough room to even take a step out of it if she wanted to. And that double tuck, chest up on the landing, control on the step back. That's textbook right there.
You know, the teams at the NCAA championship that seem to have a shot at the title always seem to have 2, maybe 3 all-arounders that can contend nationally. And LSU certainly has 2 or 3 of those as we go back over to the balance beam. Their final competitor, freshman Sarah Schaefer.
A lot of pressure for a freshman to be in that anchor spot on balance beam. Last event, last one up, all eyes on you.
But if there's a time to do it, early in the season, see how she handles that pressure.
100%. Test it out, see how she handles it, if it can be a good spot for her in the future. A beautiful back handspring step out, layout, step out. A little bit of a balance check on that aerial. Back handspring step out, tuck 1.5. Small hop in that landing.
Very good beam rotation for Arkansas. Michaela Burton at a 9.725. Would not be surprised if Sarah Schaefer puts up a higher score than that. And that certainly will be an improvement for Arkansas compared to what they did last year on average. Nice way to finish.
And Tiger fans, tonight's attendance, 10,755.
Maya Hambrick gets ready to compete in front of the 10,700 plus fans here at Pete Maravich Assembly Center.
I believe that's an opening record.
That is an opening attendance record for the LSU Tigers. They continue to break attendance records, and they are pumped up for this last routine. Maya Hambrick follows Sarah Finnegan's 9.9. So for Sarah Finnegan, that clinches the all-around with a score of 39.65. That is a career high for that young lady. What a way to start off 2018.
Please welcome Maya Hambrick.
Maya getting into her first tumbling pass. Round up by Gansberg, double leg, super high. The way she ran into that, I thought she was doing a double pike, and then she was like, oh, casual double layout.
I met Maya a number of years ago when she was still a club gymnast at West Georgia Gymnastics, where she was coached by her mom, Laurel. Hard to believe here she is as a senior in college at LSU, finishing her gymnastics career.
A huge round off 2.5 punch front. Maya's taking on that leadership role to a new level. She is leading by example inside and outside of the gym, and the girls really look up to her to see how they conduct themselves. Last tumbling pass, round up by handspring, double pike. Great floor routine for Maya. You can hear that crowd, but through my headset I can tell that it's loud. Dee Dee loves it, so pumped up. She was a little bit, you know, not thrilled about the performances on beams thus far, but going in the floor, she just wanted to see consistency and start building routines.
And have fun, and I think they did exactly that. Wow, we need to take a breath. What an exciting first night of gymnastics here in the SEC. We're going to clean everything up when we return. Assembly Center here on the campus of the LSU Tigers, and it is a bit of a runaway for the LSU Tigers. They did not put up the score they started the season with last year, but still that 197.15, outstanding performance. And for Arkansas, that 195.35 matches their starting score that they got last year, but they finished with a score on beam that matches their event high from 2017. Outstanding job for them. They just have a different feel about them this year. Now your belt competing with style performances tonight. There was a few of them.
Sorry, Leslie Friesman did a huge, beautifully stuck Yurchenko full-on vault to kick it off.
Meanwhile, Maya Hambrick on the uneven bars put up a career-high 9.925.
She made that routine look effortless. Transitioning from high to low, it was absolutely beautiful.
And Sarah Finnegan, she is the pro. Balance beam, rock solid, puts up a 9.925 there.
One of the best gymnasts to watch on this event. Just does everything with ease and elegance.
And then goes to floor exercise, and not just icing it for her team, but icing it in the all-around with a 9.9 and a career high in the all-around of a 39.65. The LSU Tigers enjoying this home opener. There's Sarah Finnegan and her all-around score. What a fun night. They dropped the banners from the rafters here at the newly renovated PMAC. And there it is, the national runner-up in the Super 6. They would love to run a banner up there this year that says National Champions We Will See. The final gymnastics score at the Pete Maravich Assembly Center, LSU 197.15, Arkansas 195.35. So for Alicia Sacramone Quinn, I'm John Roethlisberger saying so long from Baton Rouge. Coming up next, it's SEC Now. So long, everybody.